Here's part 1 of everything I did for my daughter's Harry Potter themed birthday. First and most importantly, not a single birthday of hers will go by without me making her favourite dinner, which is lasagna of course. And I managed to sneak in a load of veggies from the garden, mainly garlic, basil and chard and carrots. Then moving on to her party food snacks, and I wanted to make pumpkin pasties and edible howlers. I wanted there to be a vegetarian option and I knew they wouldn't eat actual pumpkin. So I made a Greggs style cheese and onion creamy pasty filling. I used some mashed up homegrown potatoes to bulk it out and then folded the puff pastry into a parcel type shape. For the red wax seal, I used a few dabs of tomato puree on the edge of the envelope. For the pumpkin pasties, I did a meat option and it was basically what I would put in the middle of a homemade sausage roll. Then I used my knife to attempt carving little pumpkin faces on the pastry. They turned out so cute and they tasted amazing too. I then grabbed some eggs from the garden to make a start on her birthday cake, which I made a few days in advance and froze. It went against all my natural instincts to make a cake this badly, but I was trying to replicate the cake that Hagrid gave Harry on his 11th birthday, which if you remember had actually been made by Hagrid himself and he'd sat on it on the way. She hadn't even seen the film yet, so she had no idea why I was making her such an ugly looking cake. I've been a professional cake maker for nearly 10 years and as you can imagine I've built up quite the collection of fondant stamps. I dug out the Harry Potter ones and made a load of cupcake toppers to go on top of the cauldron cakes. The cake gets made fresh on the day or the day before, but I can make the toppers a few days in advance, which just makes me a lot less stress when it comes to the actual day. I made regular sized cupcakes and mini ones, so I had a variety of sizes to decorate the table and whipped up some vanilla buttercream in all the 4 different house colours. And for the piping, I used a 1M open star tip. I cannot stand giving out party bags with a load of single-use plastic which is going to go in the bin or break within 5 minutes. I'd much rather make extra cakes and give them to the children to take home because then they can share them with their parents. I fully had plans to make my own wings with my Cricut machine, but I ran out of time, so I bought these wings on Amazon instead and we used a glue gun to glue them to the top of Ferrero Rochers to make some snitches. I used them to decorate the table with all her presents on, so when she came down in the morning she would see a beautiful Harry Potter themed table. Later her friends came over and they watched the film together for the first time, which was super special. The rule was she had to read the first 2 books at least 2 times each before she was allowed to watch the film. And I made up some boxes of leftover goodies for her friends to take home instead of party bags. Come back for part 2.